In today's video, we've got some pinball news to share with you. Actually, 4 different pieces of news. First off, Stern Pinball have revealed their Jaws 50th anniversary pinball machine. So we're going to take a look at that, as well as American Pinball is having some big July 4th sales you might be interested in. Then we're going to move over to digital pinball, talk about AtGames July calendars, what Zen games and AtGames and Zaccaria games we could see coming out that month. And then last but not least, unadvertised, we're going to talk about the X Arcade and the Haptic feedback kit they've got coming out relatively soon. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Michael B. And in today's video, we've got some pinball news to talk about. We've got some commercial or real pinball we're going to talk about with Stern Pinball and the Jaws 50th machine, as well as the sales going on with American Pinball you might be interested in. Then we'll move over into some virtual pin or digital pinball, talk about AtGames July calendar, and of course, X Arcade's Haptic feedback kit, adding to that experience of playing Pinball FX in VR. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for checking out the video. Guys, I always appreciate the support. If this is your first time to the channel, you like what you see, go ahead, subscribe, click the bell for notification, all that YouTube stuff. So first up, I want to talk a little bit about Jaws Pinball from Stern. This is a Keith Elwing game that came out over a year ago now. I've had a chance to play it when I was in Calgary, Alberta for work last year, and I got to play it a lot at Pinball Expo. This is a game I'm eventually hoping will show up in my arcade at some point or another. Now, this game has been pretty high up on the Pinside Top 100, usually within the top 10 for the last year. It's a great game based on one of my favorite movies of all time. It's an absolutely phenomenal pin. There are some things that I think are a little bit of a downside. Color-wise, it's not, the most exciting looking machine that you could possibly get, but gameplay-wise, it's absolutely fantastic. Now, that machine's been out for a year. Of course, this is the 50th anniversary of Jaws. A lot of people are wondering, will Stern do something officially to honor the 50th anniversary? Well, earlier this week, Stern teased a 50th anniversary Jaws announcement was coming. Today, we got the official reveal. Here's your look at the official 50th anniversary Jaws machine. I think it's absolutely beautiful. However, some people will say it seems like they're using the same assets for the artwork on the sides and the back glass. So it seems like a lot of the same. Again, I think maybe a little bit of a miss in the artwork category for Jaws. The table itself has been upgraded with some powder coating. There's an official 50th anniversary sticker. There's new brass coverings to the actual ramp rails, which are just silver in the original game. And of course, there's also this blood red powder coating for the side armor and the legs and everything like that. Really, at the end of the day, it's mostly aesthetic changes here. There's not really anything new on the table. Very similar to what they did to honor the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park. So there is going to be new gameplay, but that's available on all Jaws tables. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, here's the 50th anniversary Jaws limited edition premium pinball. So guys, if you're looking for more information on the 50th anniversary Jaws Pinball, Stern has it up on their website. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go check it out for yourself, learn a little bit more about it. And then on top of that, if you're interested in picking one up, these are available for pre-order today from your favorite pinball retailer. If you're like me here in Canada, we have 2 main pinball retailers you can go through. One is, of course, the one that's I've got my Godzilla from. I forget the name of them, but they're the one tied to the movie theater chain here. The other is Nitro Pinball, so the pre-order's up $9,699. So even though this is a limited edition, it is still a premium pinball and priced as such. So if you're interested in the new Jaws 50th anniversary, you're a big Jaws guy, you can pick one up for yourself as of today. So now moving on, I want to talk about a pinball company I don't talk much about here on the channel, and that is American Pinball. One of the reasons I don't talk much about them is they haven't done anything in a while, ever since releasing Barrio's Barbecue Challenge, which is a game that might be good, but is kind of universally panned for its theme. Anyways, one of the reasons I want to talk about them today is because of their Galactic Tank Force pinball machine, which I actually really like. I know critics panned it because it did use some 3D printed characters inside the game itself. Edgelords like Nostalgia are going to say, oh, well, it's 3D printed, but they've probably never played it, because if you have played it, it's actually a really, really fun game outside of the issue with your ball coming back at you when you hit the target in the middle. But it's got a great light show, great theme. I actually really like Galactic Tank Force. Now, the reason I'm bringing them up is they are holding a huge 4th of July sale right now for American Pinball products, one of which being Galactic Tank Force, which you can purchase the signature edition Galactic Tank Force that actually is an actual tank. I mean, look at this thing. It's a real tank. Like, it's got the little things down there, it transforms. I played it myself at, I forget the name of the pinball lounge in Ontario where I played it, but it's just really cool looking. Now, this was originally $15,000 to purchase. You can actually pick up, during this sale, you can pick up this machine for about half price, $7,995. So around $8,000, you can pick up this signature edition pinball. Now, while this seems like an amazing deal, I would advise you to go on Pinside and look up what these are going for secondhand, because I think they're selling for around the same thing. So this is, you know, an amazing deal from the outset, but you can pick up one of these machines, I think, for around the same price on Pinside secondhand. So the difference here is you get it new in box. Now, that's not the only machine they actually have on sale. They also have their Legends of Valhalla pinball machine on for $5,495, down from $7,395 from June 20th to July 7th while supplies last. Some people like this game. I don't like the shape of this pinball machine. Reminds me a lot of Hot Wheels, which is a good game, but terrible looking pin, which you're going to see in just a second, because Hot Wheels is also on sale for $6,895, a regular $7,395. These are just the regular versions. I actually had a friend of mine with one of these for sale just a little while ago. He was selling it for $6,900 Canadian. So, I mean, that's a great deal even compared to the sale price. But if you're interested in picking up any of these three American pinball games, especially Galactic Tank Force, which I think is the best game of the bunch, I really like Galactic Tank Force, the music, the theme, and everything. That's currently on sale for $7,995 for the signature edition that actually transforms into a tank. Like, it's stupid, but it's also awesome. So moving on from there, guys, I want to talk a little bit about digital pinball, and one of the things we've been having a ton of fun with in the digital pinball world for the last little while is playing Pinball FX VR, and especially using the Tank Stick VR. This allows us to use the X Arcade as a pinball controller. If you already have that new X Arcade 2 TV, it's as simple as plugging in a dongle and it automatically works for Pinball FX. And while it's a really cool experience and a cool way to play your Pinball FX VR games, because you actually have pinball controls to actually utilize on the sides, and it makes it more immersive like real pinball, you do get taken out of it in some ways because you don't have a plunger, you don't have that haptic feedback, so some of those things are kind of missing from the experience. Well, X Arcade did tease a little while ago they're working on a haptic feedback upgrade kit for playing Pinball FX VR, or playing pinball basically with the X Arcade 2 TV. And as of June 30th, we have official news now. We get a look at what that's going to look like. So we see the updated top panel for the X Arcade with two big old speakers there. You get a couple dials up there for controlling the experience. We're getting our plunger. We're getting solenoids as well as additional speakers. So this is really cool. Feel the action with 4 haptic shakers, not just speaker vibration. You see your 2 speakers there. They're showing where the haptic vibration is going to be right at the flippers, and then 2 more on the front. It also has that Hall effect plunger, an independent control of volume and vibration. That's that little button knob up top where you can control the volume of what's playing, and you also can control the coming through the speakers, as well as the volume coming through the actual haptic feedback. Then a little bit down there, we've got Force Haptic talking about the flipper solenoids. And then, of course, they've also got that Hall effect plunger, which is just the piece de resistance going to push this over the edge. You don't need to buy a brand new X Arcade. This is going to be all happening relatively soon, so hopefully we get a release date when we can pre-order this and a price in the very near future, but this is definitely going to take the X Arcade to the next level, especially when playing Pinball FX VR. Now, last but not least, we've got to talk about new digital pinball releases coming from AtGames. We have the AtGames July Calendar here. It looks like we've got two more games coming out directly from AtGames and Magic Pixels. There's also some information about a July sale on the Legends Ultimate at Sam's Club, as well as some other products. But I mean, the real piece de resistance here that we want to know about is what new pinball games are coming from AtGames as well as from Zen Studios. So as you can see here in the July calendar that was provided to me, we're getting a brand new AtGames original pinball game coming on the 17th called Firefighter Wildlands First Responders, which is, I guess, a firefighting game. I don't know if it's related to the LA wildfires that happened recently or not, but anyways, it's an original AtGames pinball game they did with Magic Pixel. And then on the 24th, we're getting Supersonic Deluxe. We'll get a couple images of those tables in just a second, but you can see here, we're also getting a new Zen Studios release on the 9th, as well as on the 23rd. So we'll go down, skip past this stuff. We'll get our first look at the games now. So there's Firefighter Wildlands coming on July 17th. There's your first look at the table itself. And yeah, there's a lot of fire there. Again, I don't know if it's related to the LA wildfires. I mean, I don't know if that would be in good taste to make a game that, you know, is basically profiting off that disaster without giving some money to the cause. I don't know if that's the case or not. I guess we'll get more information about it as we go forward. And then, of course, Supersonic Deluxe coming to us, more Zaccaria Deluxe games. I gotta say, I've actually really enjoyed some of the most recent releases. Like, I recently played through the soccer game, the Soccer Deluxe game they did, Soccer Kings Deluxe. I thought that was just super fun, colorful table, played really well, had great music. Really enjoyed shooting the Rapids Deluxe, and while you would assume Future World Deluxe wouldn't exactly be my cup of tea, as it's not exactly like the other games, still had a lot of fun with that and loved the cool ball mechanic. It's just like a little sound through the SSF kit whenever the ball touched down, but it was actually really good. So excited to check out these two games and, you know, keep seeing the progress of what Zaccaria, Magic Pixel, and AtGames are working on together, because outside of the ball being a little bit too bouncy, they seem to be moving in a pretty good direction. They've updated the DMDs. They've got new DMDs now. They're not just using the same assets over and over again. So things seem to be moving in the right direction. And then, like I talked about on this calendar, not in the video that we were looking at a couple minutes ago, it does say there's going to be a Zen Studios release on the 19th, on the 23rd. Again, we still don't know what these are. I'm starting to lose hope that we will get Star Wars releases this year. We'll have to wait and see. So hopefully, you know, we don't have to wait too long. It's currently the 2nd of July right now. You guys are going to be enjoying the 4th of July in just 2 days. You guys are going to be off and partying. But hopefully within the next couple of days, we find out what the first Zen Studios release is going to be. And fingers crossed, hopefully it's Williams. So anyways, guys, just a little bit of pinball news I wanted to share with you this afternoon. A little bit of something for everybody. We got some real pinball with the announcement of Jaws 50th, which again is just really an aesthetic upgrade. There's not any real changes to the game other than the aesthetics changing, and you know, a big thing for Super Jaws fans. You got the American pinball sales. You know, these aren't the best games in the world. I would put American as the lowest tier of the pinball distributors, right there on the bottom underneath Pinball Brothers. But, you know, some of those games are still pretty good. Like Hot Wheels is fun, even though it looks terrible. And I really like Galactic Tank Force. I think that's a game that gets a lot of negativity because of the 3D printed characters inside without people giving it a chance and actually playing the game and understanding that absolutely bonkers theme. Then, of course, we got some digital pinball news. Really excited to see what X Arcade has cooking with their haptic feedback kit. That's something I'm 100% ordering, and I can't wait to try it out while playing Pinball FX VR with the X Arcade. And then last but not least, we got an AtGames July calendar, and like everybody else, the sales are fine. I already got all the AtGames products I'm going to buy. I'm really here to learn more about new pinball coming to the game, coming to the platform. We got 2 new Zaccaria games, 2 new Zen games looking to release in July, and hopefully we find out pretty soon what they are. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of today's news? What do you think of the Jaws machine? Are you interested in any of the American pinball sales? Are you going to be picking up the X Arcade Haptics feedback kit? And last but not least, what do you think the 2 Zen games coming out for AtGames are going to be? And are you excited about any of the other 2 games they announced, the AtGames Original and the Zaccaria Deluxe table? Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. I'll talk to you next time.